Guys, I have this really good idea for a story, okay? And I'm not gonna have time to write it because I'm super busy. I gotta make time to write it. I could I? Like, there's a part of me that just cannot imagine old windshield wipers, in which I have enough time to write this story. I mean, there are probably other things I could do, you know, like things I could drop that I could make time to write it, but I was up at 6 o'clock this morning with my toddler, editing video with him in my lap. Oh, gotta turn my lights on. You know, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning now. I'm too tired to even do the math on that, but it's been a while. And that's not an atypical day. That day can happen pretty frequently. I stay busy with stuff, is what I'm saying. So anyway, there's a story that I want, like, I gotta tell somebody at least the idea of it. And then you go, somebody out there who's a good writer, you go out and write it. Because I used to be a good writer, and then I stopped writing and started working on editing videos. Exactly as successful at the writing thing as I am at the video thing. Not very. So here's the deal, right? In kids' movies, all the time, the kids notice something happening, right? Like, there's like Elvis is living on your street, or the bank robber from the television is living next door, or like, there's something I don't have time to do. Finish reading this. John Connolly's The Gates. And that one, kid finds the next door neighbors are opening the gates of hell, trying to let demons in. And they are demons. They used to be people, but they got possessed with like tentacle things, and now their bodies are rotting, and it's actually really gruesome for a kid's novel. Regardless, okay, so you know about that trope, like the kids see something, and they're like, "Ah, Mom, I'm there, I got my, the things are coming through, right? Bad stuff is gonna happen every time, every single time in these stories. It's always the kids right and the adults are wrong. So, here's my idea. All of these stories, more or less, take place in the same universe, right? Like, here's the concept. Like, kids all over the world are able to notice things that adults aren't able to notice. In this story universe, for real. So, to compensate for this, because there's always threats coming through that kids are noticing that the adults aren't noticing, they have a special squad on the police force that's made up of, like, from 8 to 12-year-olds. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? Like, they need the kids to be able to notice the things that are gonna come and try to get them. The bank robbers living next door, the tentacle monsters coming through the portal to hell, whatever. So they have this special junior detective squad in, like, most cities. So the story, here's where it gets interesting though, because the story is about this kid who's about to age out, right? Like, he's about to leave the age in which he can perceive the things that are coming through, that he can believe what, like, you know, believe the monsters are there and on all this stuff that they're actually seeing as children, that he's going to get past that Peter Pan age and into adulthood. And so he's like, he's training the new recruit, you know, the new dumb 8-year-old, and he's like, "You don't know what I've seen, kid." But he's only 12, so it's like kind of humorous. And then, like, but he's dealing with, like, he's with the existential terror of sort of losing that part of himself. You know, that literally coming of age personified in that you are actually going to lose the ability to see these things. Just like, you know, losing the ability to go, the ability to go to Narnia when you get too old. It's a detective story with 12-year-olds and younger kids, like, investigating the supernatural or something, because the big people can't see it, and the kid's about to age out, and he's got like 5 days left until retirement, right? He's just got to make it. But does he want to make it? Pumped about the story, you guys. Somebody write that. Somebody write that story. Or maybe I will, like, in a year. I used to write 1,000 words a day. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. 1,000 words a day I had enough free time for. I write like 1,000 words a week now. I'm pathetic. Let's end on that note.